So basically in EDA, what we do is we try to analyze the data. So to analyze the data, we have multiple things like finding the patterns in data, finding the abnormal or normal things in the data, and if there are any relationships between the variables and how variables are performing, what are the contributing factors, everything we try to analyze, and that's what we say as EDA. So anything that we do with EDA, like if you have unknown data, you have got a data which is not known to you. You have got the data. So basically, the first human tendency is to find out what all things are there in the data, and with the help of EDA, we try to figure out those patterns, those unknown patterns, those hidden patterns in the data, so that we can see how this data is there, how it is looking like, what is the shape of data, what is the structure of the data, how many missing values are there, if there are missing values, what is the percentage, and how they are contributing towards the result. Okay. The second thing is that in every data, there is one thing that is identified as the dependent variable. For example, if you are working into a banking data, so what in and the data is related to loan. Okay, so there must be multiple characteristics that must be collected for the information about the customer. But ultimately, what we are going to do with that? Ultimately, we are trying to identify whether we can give loan to this customer or not. So loan approval, yes or no, is our predicted variable. So this prediction is dependent on many other variables that are existing inside the data. So this variable is called as the dependent variable or predicted variable. Okay, and then there can be various factors like income of that person, or savings of that person, or property of that person, or let's say EMI of that person, or its CIBIL score or FICO score, you can say, and then family size, which company the those things together form a persona about the customer, which are together going to decide whether the loan is to be given to this customer or not to this customer. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so here what comes is EDA. So in EDA, basically we are going to use the Pandas package that we have covered already. Then some basic commands we are going to use for the cleaning purpose, or for merging or combining the data, or reshaping the data, or slicing or dicing the data, or transform the data. Okay, so basically, what we do in EDA, we try to find the patterns in the data. We try to determine the relationships inside the data. We try to check some assumptions in the data. What is assumptions now? So assumption is something which is expected to be followed with the data, and there is no definite list that these assumptions should follow. It varies based on the industry you are working on. For example, if you are working in the food industry, right? So in food industry, you need to know how this industry works. You need to know when demand is higher. You need to know when demand is low. You need to know that in which area, which type of food is more preferred. You need to know that what cuisines are most important for any geographical area, right? So based on that, so if you go to Punjab and open idli dosa center, comparatively initially you can get success, but over the period of time you will not get a very good business. But instead, if you go and open the paratha business over there with lots of butter, definitely at the initial itself, the person has higher chances to get success, because people are more attracted towards that. In the same way, if suppose you go to some South Indian state, and there you are trying to sell the things which are made of mustard oil. They have the less chances of survival because of the geographical area. So all those things are the assumptions that a person needs to know, and there is no definite list of assumption. It varies based on the area, based on the demographic, based on the business you are working on. Okay, so
Mhm.
we need to identify those assumptions as well. Then there are preliminary selection of appropriate models so that you can predict the things in a right way, and then detection of the mistakes. There can be some mistakes as well in or there abnormal patterns as well, and though there can be the reason behind those abnormal patterns, and we also need to find out using EDA for within the data. Okay, and the job that we are going to do is mainly data loading and description. So in this data, you know about Titanic, correct?
Yeah.
So the Titanic was a tragic incident happened between the sea, and a lot of people died over there. And this data is based on that. This is very common case study nowadays. In this data, there are total 891 observations and 12 columns are there. There is passenger ID. So first of all, when you start working with data, you need to know what your data is. So for first of all, there is passenger ID, you know. Then there is survived. Survived means it has two values. Either a person is survived or either a person is not survived. So wherever zero means person is not survived, and wherever there is one, it means person is survived. Then passenger class, class of the ticket, name of the passenger, sex of the passenger, age of the passenger. Then sibling of means if siblings were traveling together or a spouse were traveling together, that information. Then parent children information, how many parent and children were traveling together, what is the ticket number, what is the fare, and what is the cabin information. Apart from that, there is one more thing. That information is about let's say that was embarked information. One more thing is there that will come, that is uh, where it is, yeah, embarked. And here the place where um, passenger onboarded the ship. Okay, so this information is also there inside this data. Okay, so here some background information that in 15 April 1915, 4 days into ship maiden voyage, and between Southampton to New York City, and was one of deadliest peacetime maritime disaster where more than 1,500 people were killed. Okay. To do this, first of all, we are going to install few packages. That is UML package, and these are basically the profiling related packages are there. So you can just try testing and installing in your system whether they are um, there or not. So if it will be there, it will give you they said like it is already there in my system. If you will install, if it is already there in your system, it will give message like this. Otherwise, it will automatically install. Okay. Then hmm, these are the packages that we are going to use: NumPy, Pandas, Pandas profiling, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and all these things. So let me execute, and then let's execute this. Okay. Okay, so this is installed now.
I
Yeah,
don't see your screen. Where are you?
sorry.
Installing? I don't see your screen. Where are you installing? I don't see it. Are you trying to install it?
No, it is already installed. I'm not installing it. It is basically just I'm importing this package, this file. So this is already imported now. I have already executed this. This is imported. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then now we are going to understand. So this
How
is
you know it
titled.
is imported? You executed it. How you know it is imported?
So one thing is when I execute this. So
Mm-hmm.
let me run it again. So I am running this. So here above you can see there is a book. You can see.
Yeah. Yes.
Here there is a book shape is there. Oh, wait a minute. Um, can you see now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so can you see the book, orange
Yes.
color book?
Yes.
Okay,
You do.
now when I execute this, just notice that the icon will change over here. Let me reopen this. Um, and here I'm opening this. Okay, it is open now. Let me execute this first. So all packages are imported. Now when I'll execute this, just notice the icon and what happens over there. I am just executing it now. Executed. It is already there in memory. Actually, what happens when there is a bigger file is there to import? What happens usually? Um,
Mhm.
this book converts to another icon. So that means it is processing, right? And once
Okay.
process is completed, the book comes again. So that's how I know that execution is completed.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
and
Mm.
you can notice this.
Okay.
Okay, so now understanding the data set, now what is the shape of this data set? 891 rows and 12 columns. Then what all the columns are there? So we have passenger ID, survived, passenger class, name, sex, age, sibling, parent child, ticket, fare, cabin, and embark. Okay, so you can see top 10 over passenger ID. This is survived, this is passenger class. Then this is name, this is sex, age, sibling, parent child, then ticket, fare, cabin, and embarked. All these things are there. Now, there is last few values, and I'm trying to see the information over here. So let's see the information. So this information is going to give me how many not null values are there. So you can see there are 891 values are there up to here. Here there are 714 ages are there. It means lot of ages around 177 ages are missing for the people. There are around 177 people are there whose ages are not available. Okay. Then 204 cabin information and embarked information 889. So total for two people embarked information is missing, and for more than 80% people cabin information is missing. Okay,
Not four is there mentioned. You're saying very less.
sorry.
How many cabin are missing? How many? Come again.
See, there are total 891 people were there
Okay.
in our data. 891
Mhm.
records are there. Out of that, not null not
Mhm.
non-null information is available over here. So count is available. So you can see there is for this is 891, 891, 891. So these are the columns in which no values are missing. Here there are only 714 values are there. So only 17 for only 714 people this age is available, means for 177 people this age is missing.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
same way, only for 204 people cabin information is available. Rest for rest people cabin information is not available.
Okay.
Now, let's say Titanic dot describe. So this describe will give us the basic statistics for the numeric variables. Now, we try to find out how many values are missing. So I'm taking Titanic data is null and sum. So it gave me the count of missing values. So 177 values are missing over here, 687 values are missing over here. That again we identified here also, and I
Yeah.
have just confirmed it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so we can say cabin information is the biggest column where values are missing. So let's see how we can deal with this missing value. So we'll do pre-processing. So first of all, for embark, only two values are missing. So what we'll do is we'll try to replace those missing values with the other values. So if we have to find out whether the missing one thing, whether the missing value is numeric value or non-numeric value. So obviously, the embarked is non-numeric value, right? So when value are non-numeric, so for them, missing values will be replaced by the mode. Okay, so mode of embarked is S. Do you know what is mode? Mean median mode? You know
Yes, median, the middle value we find out. Mean be the middle value, I think. Yeah, mean, median, mode, yeah.
what is mode?
Mode,
What is
I
mode?
forget.
Hmm?
Mode, mm, oh, mode, yeah. The values again and again comes, right? The value,
Come again?
mo uh, the most frequent word.
Yes, the most frequent value is mode. You are right.
Mm,
Okay, so here you can see the S. Okay, so basically in embark there are three places were there from where the ship has been started. So one was Southampton, from where the ship was started. Then there was Queensland, and then third was something like no, some other city was there, which was the final destination of it. No, final destination was New York, and it was started from Southampton, then Queensland also, then C also. C is what I just forgot what C was, but it was some city name was there. Okay, so basically the most repeated value was S. Okay, so the values that are missing are replaced by this S value. Okay,
mhm.
here it is replaced. So this is the dialog. Titanic data dot embarked fill NA with embarked of mode. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
any doubt?
No.
Okay, now for the age. Age is what? Age is numeric variable, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So since age was have age is a numeric value, so the numeric value will be will always be missing value will be replaced by median. So age is replaced by median, and fair is also replaced by median. So this is fill NA median, and in place is equal to true. Fill NA median fair in place is equal to true. And then cabin, in cabin there were 687 values are missing, so almost more than 80% values are missing. So we have dropped. So Titanic dot drop. kbin, x is equal to 1 means column has been dropped, and in place is equal to true to save the changes. Okay. So
Okay.
this is how we have um, do the data cleaning, or the missing values we have covered. 1 minute. Let me execute it one by one. This. Oh, cabin has already been dropped. How come? Let me import this again. I guess this one, this is done, this is done. This is returning the data. Now fill in, then info, and now embarked is done. This is done, this is done, and this. Yes. So now Kevin is also dropped with this, right? Now we are generating some additional values like family size we are taking. So we are including the sibling and parent-child data with it. So with this we are generating the family size. Then gender class, with gender class we are including if a child is less than of age 15, then it is child, otherwise it is adult. Okay. So that's how we are just making these two variables. So now we can see here we have either child or male or female. Only these things we have created as gender class. Okay. Now we are trying to answer few imaginary questions, and that out of all passengers, how many of them survived and how many of them died? Okay. So very simple. We are plotting a bar chart. So here value counts, plot dot bar. So out of this, we are able to know that how many were survived and how many were died. So you can see survival of zero has the highest, and survival of 1 hour at a lowest position, right? Now you can do the same thing using the count plot also. So SNS dot count plot. So here we did this value count and plot dot bar just from the pandas only. We don't need anything additional from this. If you want to use this using the count plot, so SNS dot count plot survive Titanic data and set title. So you can see here the count plot for survived is also given. Okay, so
Mhm.
here we can conclude that more people died in comparison to survive. So how many of them were there who survived? Who survived? So there were 342 people were there who were survived, and 549 people were there who were not survived. Okay. Now, who is more likely to survive, male or female? Who has the higher chances of survival? So, if any disaster or any calamity happens, what is the general ratio between survival of male and female? Can you tell me?
Yeah, come again. If any disaster
So
happen,
suppose any natural disaster comes, or if any accident happens in where mass of people are affected. So, whom do you think that a higher probability of survival, male or female?
I know I don't have an idea because uh, maybe male. If
Male
if
has the
there is
higher
a
survival chance.
natural, if there is a natural calamities or natural disaster, because they can escape
So
soon. I can
suppose
also.
let's suppose you are in a place. See, you are in a restaurant, and something happens inside that restaurant. Means suppose
Okay,
something
then
caught
female.
fire.
Yeah,
So no, whom do you think your husband will save you first, or he will save himself first?
save me first.
Yes. So always children and females are giving the priority for the safety, and then third priority is for males. Okay. So this is a general instinct, general pattern of and of anybody in anywhere in the world. It's not just for the India. And everywhere people do same thing. Okay, so what we are trying is just we are trying to plot that. Okay, so first of all, we have just taken the gender representation, that from which section gender representation is more. So here, let this execute. What happened now? Gender class is not created. I have not executed this. Family is there. I have created this gender class. Gender class. Gender class. Yes. So you can see here only gender class if we see. So for the no, we have three gender class: male, female, and child. And we can see here most of the children are there from around you. You can say 5 year to let's say 7 or 8 years, and mostly female ranges are between 25 to 35. This is the main range, although people are there from more age and less age also, but we can see the RMS child of age is 3 to 8 years, and mostly male and females are from 20 to 35 years. Now let's compare the gender class with the survived. So what we are doing is Titanic dot data group by. This group by we learned in the pandas, remember? We are grouping this data based on the survived first, and then gender class, and then we are taking the count of the one who survived. Okay, so you can see here in the gender class, in the non-survived, child were very less, female were only 66, and male were 450. But in case of survival, child are more, and female are very high, but male has very less survival. Okay, here 450 of men died, but here only 88 men survived. Okay, so now what we do is we are just going to plot it based on that. So gender class survived, and we are taking you for this, and you can see here for male, non-survival were much higher than who survived. In female, survived were way more than who were non-survived, and in child also ratio is comparatively high for the survival. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a general thing, because whenever any unwanted situation comes, first of all, female and children are given priority for the safety, and after that, male has their own priority. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
Uh, Now, next thing is we are comparing with what is the percentage of survival for men, women, and children. So we are taking this. So what we are doing is basically we are doing sum of who survived divided by total count in female who survived. Okay, total count of female. Okay, that's what we are doing. So here we can say 76% women survived, 16% men survived, and 57.6, 58% children survived. And we are representing using this pie chart here also. We can see the same trend. Okay,
Okay. Mhm.
and then you can see here more thing like gender class wise, who got survived. And the same thing, we saw this matrix over here. Um, this matrix, the same thing we are trying to get separate also with value counts. Okay. Now we are trying to make the same thing to happen using the donut chart. So this is the donut chart. In donut chart, you can see here there is external donut and there is internal donut. So external donut is only survived and non-survived. So you can see non-survived were more than who survived, and then inside it is divided into survived male, survived female, non-survived male, non-survived female. Okay, so you can see here what we are doing is we are making the group. First of all, group names. So you can see here there are two rings are there. So for each ring, we'll do the configuration. So first of all, external ring is of survived and non-survived, and their group size is 342 who survived and 549 who were not survived. And then subgroup names. So survived of male, survived of female, then non-survived male and non-survived female. And the count is 88, 209, 450, and 66. So only 88 survived were male and 209 were survived female. Okay, so that's how you can understand. Now I'm giving the colors. So colors, these are the external colors, and then here we are configuring the ring. So first ring, outside ring, plt dot subplots. Okay, it will help to configure the donut. Then this is x is
Okay.
equal to equal, and here, sorry.
No, I said okay.
Okay. So here radius we are giving 2.5. You can reduce radius or you can increase radius. For example, I can just if I reduce this to 1.5, um,
I understand. Yeah.
just reduce it to 1.5. Okay, and then you can change the color as per your own need. If I just change it to blue, let's say. Okay, and then set the border is black right now. You can convert the border to some other color, and then this is donut plot. Then inside ring also we are taking the different color combinations and all, and we are just executing this. You can see here.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So like this, you can configure your donut chart. Okay. Now there is the rate of males and females and childs, males, females, and childs based on the passenger class. Right? So in passenger class, if we see the survival chances of the passenger class wise, so passenger class one, the highest class, has 62.9% of the survival chance. Passenger class two has 47% of survival chances, and passenger class three has only 24% of survival chances. So you can see again, if the passenger class is higher, it has higher chances of survival. So passenger class has 62.9%, almost 63% passengers were survived. Now, how the class of a passenger can affect its survival? Can you think it of?
Accept the passenger.
Sorry?
Sorry, breaking. Class of the passenger.
So, passenger class has a huge effect on the survival chances, right? So,
Okay.
in very initial, I told you that the
Yeah,
business knowledge
maybe.
is, or business assumptions are very important. So based on the business assumption, can you justify that passenger class one has higher chances of survival? Hmm?
They are the passenger class one is the one who sitting on the front, right? On the down. Mm,
Mm,
I don't know how it goes in the ship, but I know there is less chance of survival for the passenger class one. Hear me?
So basically, if you see, means when I went to the cruise, so what happens if a person is giving the higher amount, they get the higher side of deck,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, I can understand class one, class two, but where is the deck? Where the deck is? I don't have idea in the
Uh,
cruise. So,
so there are means for better visibility, the passenger get the higher side of the deck, and the passengers who have paid the lower amount, they get the lower side of deck. And because of that, when the ship starts sinking, the lower side of deck will get the water earlier. So the lower side of people have the less chances of survival, while the
yeah,
passenger class one has the
I
um,
can.
a
Yeah.
very higher chance of survival.
Okay, got it. Usually, if it is in the train, the class one people sits in the front, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so now
mhm,
we'll just do the cross tab of the general class and the one who survived. So here you can see here for the child in passenger class one,
mhm,
children passenger class one has around 44% chances of survival, right? And here you can see the same thing. This cross tab, female has higher chance, also for survival. So here, everywhere, um, you can see first class and second class. The survival chances are higher, but in case of child, in third class, passenger class three, you can see here this is the non-survival chances are higher. In the same way, in case of female, higher class passenger has 10 score, then middle class has 6 score, and then passenger class 3 has only 6.6. Right? When you come to male, now here non-survival chances are more. Here this is 10 and here it is 31 non-survival, while survival chances are only 4 and 0.89 and 4.3. So like this you can see here passenger class wise also for children, male and female. The lower passenger class has the less chances of survival. Okay, so the
mhm,
passenger who has paid more is more has more chances of survival because it has a bigger amount of time. Okay, then there is violent plot. So in violent plot, what we are doing is again passenger class and survival. So we are trying to analyze one question around from many scenarios. We are trying to confirm that. So here also you can see passenger in case of the passengers. So first class, second class, and third class had zero. Third class is most thick, and for passenger class 3 one is very small. In the same way for passenger class 1, survival chances, one value is more thick while zero value is very less thick, right? So from all these things we can say that passenger class has maximum has higher chances of survival, and other classes have the lower chances of survival. So we can say the survival rate of male is very low irrespective of class. The survival rate is less for third class passengers, and almost all women in passenger class 1 and 2 were survived, and nearly all men in passenger class 2 and 3 died. Okay, almost everything. So you can see here, this is almost at 2. So almost all men and all men in passenger class 2 and passenger class 3 were died. Okay, understood.
okay. Yeah.
Then survival rate comparison to the embarked means from where people boarded. So who has the higher survival rate, or And so here you can see uh, Southampton, Chelsburg, and Queensland. Queensland or Queenstown, something it was there. Here you can see uh, for overall, if we see Southampton, so Southampton, male were very high, and then there were female and very less child. And from Queenstown, Queensland, almost there were no children, and very less people in male and female also. Okay, and if we check the survival rate in this case, you can see here the survival rate was higher for female and children, and for male, survival rate is comparatively very less. And then how survival rate vary with embarked sex and passenger class. So you can see here for Southampton, there were many people in were there in the class three, because Southampton was the initial of this ship where it got started. So most of the people were there from Southampton only. So that's the reason you can see very high bars on Southampton in comparison to Queenstown and Chelsburg. Okay, so here you can see here most of the passengers belonging to passenger class one boarded from Chelsburg and Southampton, and maximum people who boarded from Southampton were from passenger class three. And the same thing is now being compared with this chart. So here also you can see here how many people were there from which class. Okay, so one thing is now here this is a scatter plot. No, we can say swarm plot. It is swarm plot. So in swarm plot, embarked, age, and gender class were plotted. So you can see here. Um, Here there is no survived or non-survived. Here we are just comparing the embarked with age, and gender class is giving color to it. Okay, so here this is Southampton. So in Southampton, you can see most of the people means there is a huge population of male, very less population of children, and comparatively less population for female. In the embarked in the Chelsburg also, you can see very less number of children were there, and in from Queenstown also very less number of children were there in comparison to male and female, very less children. And at most of the places, males are the one who were there in the um, ship. Okay, so this is how many questions were answered using different points with different kind of plots. So basically, if you see here in the initial, there were these 12 questions were there which were answered using these graphs, and one by one you can go, and you can see this was sixth question, and then seventh question was segment age in bin size of 10. So how many people were there up to age 22? So there were three. Then up to 38, four. We have created the bin out of it, and there people were checked, and the bar plot is checked with this. Okay, then analysis survival and analyzing the survival rate with the family size. So family size is basically you can see here based on the family size how many people were there. So these are the things made for the family size, and based on that how many people were survived. So you can see here here. Huh. Based on the age, this age bin has been decided, and in these age bins, so suppose a person is of age 22, he is in bin 3. If a person is of age 38, he will be in bin 4. So person is from 0 to 0 to 10 years, he is in bin age bin 1. And like that bins are created, and if you see over here So here you can see almost the age at 0 to 10. There were more people who died in comparison to survive. In the case of people aged from 60 to 70, you can see very less people are there who survived or who died. That may be the reason that there are very less people of old age. Because of that, you cannot see many people died of this age. But if you see the age of my age between, let's say, 30 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50, you can see many people were there. So here you can see 20 to 30 and 30 to 40, more people were uh, n- survived in comparison to how many people died, right?
Mhm.
So this is basically based on the age and not age. Sorry, this is family size. This is family size. Yeah. So people with seven numbers. Yeah. Okay, and here you can see people with high family sizes. You can see where people were five people or six family people working traveling together were died more in comparison to survived. Very less people survived. All mostly people were died who were with family. Okay, so
Mhm.
you can see here, this is also correlating that 40 to 50 and 50 to 60 people are there who died more. And here at 0 to 10 also people were there who died more. So means these children were there mostly traveling with the people of age 40 to 60. And that is the reason you can see people died more in comparison to survived. Okay. So there is also a relation. Understood?
Yeah.
Give me a second. Hello.
Yes.
Yes. जी बताइए ना. नहीं अवेलेबल नहीं है. Sorry, there was a phone call. Okay. So, are you able to understand these parameters that we are discussing?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so there are many questions that has been answered through the data. Okay, so you can just study that how this data is correlated, and all these things, either it may be a pair plot, or it may be a bar plot, or it may be a box plot. Everything we have already done using in our visualization. Just you have to go through with those visualizations and find out how these patterns are working and how we can apply. I'll share you one more case study, one more EDA, so you can study that EDA as well. Once you do all these EDA, then we can continue with I'll give you one or two more data set, and you can practice that EDA with you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So this EDA I will give in IPYNB only, not in the plain notepad, because you will not be able to see the graphs over there in plain notepad and all. So there will be no
Okay.
use of that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you